Alrighty, what we got going on today is I'm going to try to make a hatchet handle out of this. Now, y'all seen my show many times, and it broke. I've used this for all kinds of stuff, but you know, wood handles break. It happens. So we're going to try to make another one. Now, this is a piece of wild cherry that I cut down, and I actually made this myself. Made the board, all that stuff. You can see all these old relief cuts I made and chopped it out. Yeah, this was a lot of work, and this was done like 6 years ago. So it's been sitting up in the roof, in the ceiling, drying this whole time. And unfortunately, it has warped and cracked a tremendous amount. So this is almost guaranteed to fail. I got this crack, and it's running, I mean, deep in there. It's pitiful. But anyways, and you can see from the end here just how deep that crack goes. And that's on this side. On the plumb opposite side, you got this big crack running right here too. So I might get lucky and get a quarter of this thing out of here to be able to do something with. It's got that issue, besides some warping that happened. Yeah, and some bowing and all that junk. It's got some issues. This is almost destined to fail, but we're gonna give it a try. So stay tuned. Let's see if I can make a hatchet handle out of this screwed up piece of cherry. Yeah, don't do this at home. Okay. Got it cut off. You see right where I drew that line. That should just about come down the center and work that crap off. Thank goodness. Y'all, this may turn into something, because this crack, I'm hoping it ain't too deep over here. But it's also about in line with that too, so y'all, this may happen. I don't want to get my hopes up, but it stands a chance now. I don't want to hear no jokes. It took a while. It didn't happen in one day. Now, I didn't spend all day doing it because I ain't got to, but y'all seen where I was putting some of that boiled linseed oil on it to help cut down on friction. That worked okay for a little while, but something I found out, these little Japanese saws, I guess I always thought this was like the ripping teeth, the bigger teeth over here, and these were finishing teeth. I still don't know what finishing teeth are or what their function is, but I will say this. I found out that if I was to saw like this a little bit on the ripping teeth and it started getting kind of hard to saw, too much friction, I just turn it over and hit it with this a few times. That would like open it up, then I turn it back over and it go right back to ripping. So alternating sides seem to be the biggest helper. I've done more in an hour or two right then than I've done on a lot of other, like all the other times put together. And I got off one solid piece right here, as opposed to the two that I took off earlier. So yeah, Pretty good little trick. Let's take a look at the handle now. Daggum, this thing tipped over too, bent my threads here. Well, the whole rod actually. Daggum it. I have to try to tinker with that later. But here we go. That's the line I just cut. Didn't match up quite right here in the middle, but that is okay, and had a little relief cut, went too deep right here. That is still okay. We're worlds closer to getting this done now. Because this right here in the corner, I can take this split off. That ain't no big deal. The only issue I've got is I don't know how deep that crack runs. But either way, on to the next step. Now this next step is probably one of my favorites. It's time to do a little bit of rasping. So, ain't nothing fancy about it, but, and notice I stayed outside the lines being safe, but the only reason I'm even bringing a note of it is my grandpa would give me this, I don't know, I'm guessing 10-ish years ago, give or take, I can't remember the exact time. And ain't nothing overly fancy about it, it's a rasp. You can buy them at many places, but just the fact he gave it to me, he used to use them in a saddle shop. And I can tell that's still some of the rawhide he wrapped it with originally. It's coming apart now, but there's that, some of that little tape there. But either way, Pop, I'm still using it if you're watching this. It's helped me build a lot of stuff, and anybody out there that I've ever built a bow for, I guaranteed I used this to help build that bow. So that was just a quick little shout out type thing, but let's get on to rasping. that's it, everybody. And I always like how cherry turned out. And I do got a crack at the bottom. I forgot to round over the bottom, which I don't care about. It's still gonna work. But when I was hitting on the bottom, hit these sharp edges and drove a couple of chips off. Either way, I ain't worried about it. But that's pretty neat. That's pretty neat right there. And I know some of y'all are thinking like, hey, that looks pretty nice, whatever, but this is what one's supposed to look like. Yeah, a lot of difference there, if y'all can see that. I mean, a lot of difference. A little bulky, a little fat, but I don't care. That's enough for me. But either way, it's made of cherry. It's kind of a crackly wood. You know, this is wild cherry. And I don't know if it's gonna last all that long, so give a comment how long before it breaks you think. Also, this handle right here, my grandpa, he's looking out for me. And I guess he heard my old hatchet handle busted, which he give me this, don't get me wrong. But daggum if he ain't looking out for me, he went to a flea market and went and bought me another handle. So it's a good hickory one, and when this one busts on me finally, I got a good replacement already. But I still wanted to make one. I ain't made a handle in a long time besides that hammer handle that y'all seen earlier. I made that one. But still been a little while. But either way, hopefully y'all enjoyed that. Hopefully this lasts me a while, and y'all be seeing this put to use here pretty soon. So either way, y'all have a nice day. Let's see y'all on the next video.